Where are we going?
Hello there, office hours friends. Hi, how is
What's up,
everybody?
everybody?
So I want to make a commitment to all of you. I will never mute our mic before or after the show because that's when the gold happens. Is when we're supposed to be quiet and one of us is like, "Man, that was a great show." Like I'll always leave that in there. That's glorious. That
Or
makes me
I
so
will
excited.
brag that we did something in one take and we'll be like, look at us. We're so
Exactly.
good.
Exactly.
So,
Um,
just for your enjoyment.
Yes. So, welcome to Office Hours. This is a show, and we are in our fall semester, and it's a show just to help you with your career development, to step up in ways that you may not see, to help you find
Yeah.
some blind spots and hopefully make them a little bit better. Who is this man next to me?
Hi, my name is Nick Longo. How are you today? I think we're feeling good today. This is gonna be a good. I feel like it's a good show.
Man, we are
Feeling
vibing today.
This is really good. We've had a lot of pre-time. We're setting up stuff, so this is good. My name is Nick. I'm based in Los Angeles, branding designer and educator at Cal State University, Northridge. I'm wearing the shirt today. Look at
There we
that.
go. My name is Andrew Hochradel. I run Hawk.co, which is a whole bunch of things. I'm an educator and mentor here on Adobe Live, and I love hanging out with all of you. And I am sponsored by Chomp Brand
Little
right here.
Josh Ariza
Josh
plug there.
Ariza, we love
Love it.
Chomp Brand. He just like sends me shirts and I wear them whenever I can because they're the most comfortable and
Could it
best
be
shirts
because
in the
you're on
whole
TV
world.
a lot or
Yeah, maybe.
streaming?
Like this
I'm
is
gonna have
not an
to.
endorsement, but they are
Have
the
to
best shirts that have ever gotten
I'm
made.
gonna have to text Josh and be like, I'm on that show too.
Yeah, right. Cool. So thanks for joining us today. We are doing an XD spotlight, and as always, you can join in and check out right here below me, bit.ly/Adobe Office Hours. That's where we host all of our assignments as well as the syllabus. So if you want to see the syllabus, it's in the first week folder, and it gives a overview of what we're going to be covering and what we're going to be doing over the next like 90 weeks. I don't know, till December. There's so many
You're in school
topics.
for life.
Yeah, you're in school forever. That's how it works. Nick, what are we talking about today?
All right, today's a good one. We are diving deep into Adobe XD, and we are going to be looking at different ways, interesting ways to use it that maybe you're not like totally used to just yet. But the cool part too is I am a total novice in XD, and so my hope here is I'm going to learn a little bit as we go with you guys. I hope we have some people that are maybe new to it or haven't even opened it yet. So let's get into it, and we're gonna have a little fun with sharing screen too and working on things collaboration live right here in front of you guys.
Yep. So today is very much not going to be, if you're here and you're like, I want to learn the technical sides of XD, not this stream, not 0% this stream. Today we're going to be talking about how you can leverage XD in some unique ways and how you can use it for collaboration and even presentation, right? That we're all about helping you step up your portfolio, helping you step up how you interact with clients or even go to get jobs. We're going to show you some ways to work with other people, even work with your clients, and even how to present better using Adobe Xd. And yes, super new Julie as well. I was super new to Adobe Xd, and we're going to walk through literally the first time I opened Xd was to build a website. And so I'm going to take you through the Xd file to the comp to the iPad to the final website, which is now done. So I'm going to show you all of that today, which would be really, really fun. And Nick, where do we want to start here?
Gosh, I know we've got a little to do here.
Let's go ahead and hop into XD, and I think usually we have a presentation, man, this is so gimmicky the way I'm trying to lead into this. I'll keep it going though. Sometimes we have like a presentation that we like to show with like slides and stuff. It would be really great if we could build something like together, right? We could work. We wouldn't have to send files and stuff. Like we just work together. What if we hop over into Adobe XD? Let's try that. So what's happened here is Nick and I are leveraging the power of collaboration in Adobe XD. Super powerful tool to be able to collaborate. And you know what? I want to put something in here. So I'm just going to grab our office hours logo out of Illustrator. And here, I'll just paste it in here, and I'm going to go ahead and make that a component for us. So anytime one of us changes it, we'll be able to kind of update that. So let's just make, let me group that. Let's just go ahead and make this our title slide.
Nice. So can I add a title underneath it?
Yeah, so I'm actually going to grab this and I'm going to make another copy. So something that you can do is while we work together, I can start working on something else. All I'm going to do is click this title up here, hold Shift and Alt or Option. And there we go. Now I have my own slide and I'm going to start working over here. And yeah, Nick, go ahead and plug in our title over there.
So I'm going to now take this and we will say, let's say today's topic.
There we go. And while you do that, so over in our panel, I over here have made the first title for our slide. So I'm going to go ahead and with this selected, just put it into a character style. So Nick, now if you want to match that to mine, you can just click over there and hit that character style and it should sync over.
Look at that.
There we go. So now we are all on brand. Super, super easy to be collaborating. Again, I have used XD a tiny bit. Nick has probably almost never used XD.
Yeah.
And so just like
I've graded projects in XD and yet I've never even opened it.
Yep.
How do you like them apples?
And all we had to do was click up here and I invited Nick to this document and we were able to, do co-editing. It's absolute magic. It's magic. Cool. So we were able to do that. And let's talk a little bit about what Adobe XD is. And Nick, as I talk about it, could you fill in maybe some points as we go? Adobe XD is a place that you can really design anything. So a lot of people use it specifically for experience, UI, UX, but it's so much more than that. I've seen people use it for brainstorming. I've seen people use it for animation, for websites, for even some what are we looking at today? Did I say animation? I meant animation.
Oh yeah, and presentations.
And presentations, yes, that's what we're going to say. Thank you. And presentations, which is going to be super fun today. So you can design anything in XD. It's not just for what you see in case studies, that it's all white and minimal and it's a screen and this screen is going to go to another screen. Yes, we can talk about screens all day, but I want to show the overall experience. And as we talk about UI UX, a lot of that is the experience that we are having. So Nick and I will be talking about emotions, talking about feelings, and how we can start to put those together. So Nick, do you have anything else to say about maybe how you can collaborate in XD? And I'll type these in.
I kind of dig this. Let's see. So it'll be on our third page. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and make our third slide right here.
Yeah. I like this idea too, that it is live. It's not this idea of working and then sending and waiting for an update. So I guess it's quite time saving. It would probably be the first thing I would say for sure, right? So it's definitely time saving. I think as well too, just in our case, there could be someone that is inexperienced. So it's great for training. It's great for learning it. Where else can you learn a program live with somebody else who knows it more than you do? Which is kind of a great idea. I'd say another benefit here too is just, again, getting to know more of the Adobe suite. I think, again, I was just talking to an alumni student of mine who is heavily into XD right now and is finding great job opportunities for there as well. So again, it's kind of, you got to look at the climate of what's being hired, what's not. This is high in demand. So learning it would probably be super beneficial to you as a young creative.
Absolutely. And so I tossed one more in there. Would you like to read it? As we were talking, I tossed it into your notes right above the expanding your skill set.
Yes. Great for client feedback. Ooh.
It's really good.
So do that. Have you been doing this where they now have a web-based? Are they on the web-based version of this, or do they have XD downloaded?
Yes, so you can actually export a prototype. You can send to them for them to play around with, to use, and I'll show you all a little bit of how I did that with a website, and even take it over to iPad of how I presented it, which is really, really fun. So let's continue on here. And I think I'm actually going to switch over and start doing some other things. So what I'm going to do first is I'm just going to prototype, which is going to say, hey, I want these, basically these artboards to go together. So I'm going to go ahead and just link all this stuff up. And that way, as we go through and present, we'll be able to do that. So let's actually talk about this real quick. We haven't talked about Discord.
Oh,
we have a Discord that you guys can all be a part of. I completely forgot about that. And our Discord is over here. Let's see what's going on in there. Lots of people are posting their homework. You can get to that Discord right at that link over there, bit.ly/fall semester/AL. We'll be doing some live feedback for you on your homework from last week, which was copywriting. Yeah, a little bit later today. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and hop over. And Nick, if you want to keep making slides as we go, I'm actually going to hop into a different file, and Nick's going to kind of continue to build out our presentation. Usually we give you a PDF, but this time we're building it out live using collaboration, and we're going to do a recap at the end using the presentation features on iPad, and then we'll export this all for you. So I'm going to hop over and show you all a website that I built out in Adobe Xd. Where is what I actually want? There we go. So this is a full website that I built out in Xd. So I had no idea how to use Xd going into this. And I leveraged my knowledge from other Adobe programs to teach myself and to experiment and learn with Xd. So if you have used Illustrator, if you have used Photoshop, there are a lot of things that carry over that you don't have to start from scratch. So if you've always wanted to learn Xd, hop in and try it. There's no wrong answers. Also, there are great resources available for you in Xd. So let's hop in here and take a look at some of the elements that I did. So in my brain, I was just converting, how does Illustrator work, right? We're using a lot of boxes, a lot of type, and you can see here as we go through, that's all it is. It's just a lot of boxes, it's a lot of type, and it is laying things out and paying attention to good UI/UX principles. So 8-pixel grid I know is a big thing, and so I literally had just heard people say 8-pixel grid, and I was like, cool, so I do 8 pixels, and started looking
that's it.
Yeah, like different variations of 8 sounds great. And started working here. I knew I wanted buttons, and so I could make my button sizes, all the type that I wanted, started laying it out, and really came to a place where I'm like, yeah, this website looks pretty okay. And so this I would show to the client to get a design approval, right? Right. So this is a little bit of my process of how I worked collaboratively with this client. So I show them this and they're like, cool, we like the design. I showed them multiple different screens of how they could go through things, some sub pages, how things go through. And just like in Illustrator, I'm basically using artboards. Oh, sorry. Taylor cashed in. Thanks for the feedback. Oh, Taylor, what's up? Oh, it's cutting off the edges. Oh, you are so right. Thank you so much. Let me go ahead and fix this. And here we go. And here we go. Oh, that wasn't the right one. Hold on, everybody. I'm going to fix this for you because I love you and I want you to have the full view of everything we're doing. Look at this. Look at us go. There we go. Let's pull that down. There we go. It cut off just a little bit. Thank you so much. I fixed it.
Perfect.
There we go. All right, cool. So I made a bunch of different screens for everybody, and you could see all the tools that are over here, basically Illustrator, right? Just if you're familiar with one program, think of it as if it is that program, and then you can build it out. So I built out all the screens, and just like Illustrator or Photoshop, I'm using different artboards, right? And so think of these as artboards or slides or different files even. And from there, this is where Xd gets really exciting and really interesting, is you can go over into the prototype. And Nick, you've gotten to get prototypes from your students, right?
Correct. Yes.
So what's the difference between having just like a regular, like, hey, here's the design, and then getting their prototype?
I guess it would be more about everything all in one file, correct?
Yes. So everything's all in one file. And the cool thing is that everything then is linked and can kind of start working together. So if you see these, and yes, my components, everyone, you're going to eat me alive, and that's totally fine. And this is us coming to you being like, here's the magic of XD, even if you're not an expert. Like, you don't have to be an expert. I know it's daunting, and you see all these people talking about UI, UX. Oh my gosh, it's so much. You can come in and have no idea what you're doing and absolutely love it. So your homework actually is going to be to do the Adobe XD Daily Creative Challenge for the next week. I believe it's with Jesse Showalter, and you will be able to go in and learn XD from a professional, from a technical standpoint. So from here, I built out what the look was, right? So this was a design, and then moved into how does it work, right? That's so much of what XD is. It's not necessarily just the visual, it's how does it work.
Yes.
And so we started to connect these things. You can click and drag and say, hey, this word, this piece, I want to go to these different places. And you're basically mapping out how this works, where this goes, and what's connected to what. So now this is where I'm going to take you to the next step. And so this is the next step of how I interact with my client, is I will take them through and I will basically send them a link of a prototype. So up here in XD, you can click play. Man, oh, I forgot how to breathe, and
too much talking.
Swallow the spit that like is like it didn't work at the same time. So now here's my design. It looks great. That's awesome. But more than that, I've told it how it can work. So I can click on communities. It's going to take me to that new communities stream. I can come over here and go to women. It's going to take me to the women's screen. So it has all of those designs that I've made, and it looks like it's functional. So this is a great, fantastic, amazing way for you to basically convince your client that it's done and show them the final product without having to build it all out. Now, here's where the real magic comes together. I'm going to go ahead and pop over to my iPad. Let's flip back over to what Nick is doing over here.
Yeah.
Nick, do you want to recap maybe what you have learned from what we just went over?
Sure. So with building the website on XD, you got a few things here. It's obviously great for first-time users. There should be nothing to be scared about because definitely familiar to all other Adobe apps. I love that you see things here and you get exactly what they are based on any other knowledge of all the other apps. It's a great way to get your clients' feedback live and show it to them before any programming is done. Totally easy to share and 100% functional. So it's basically like you've shown them the working website before they've even gone to programming. So exactly. What a great option.
Yep, I'm going to flip over to my iPad real quick. There we go. Oh, I moved this window way too much. There we go. There we go. Oh, there's some fun little secret things hanging out on this screen. All right, so let's hop over into XD. Also, these are all the Adobe programs on iPad. If you have not used Adobe Comp, it is the best thing ever. It's like InDesign, but it works in like every program. So work with Adobe Comp, it's awesome. Also get all these other programs when they're released eventually. All right, so hopping over to XD, we can see that one, it's live updating with my cloud. It is live updating what's happening with Nick's presentation. But here is the site that we just had open. So I'm gonna go ahead and click on the Lakeside Site 3. That is what we had open. And now I have a nice little version of my site, and I will hand this to my client and be like, hey, check out your new website. And to them, it's functioning no different than how it would in the end, right? They're thinking that everything is done, it's perfect. And what's great is I can hand this off to a web developer and they can look and say, cool, this is how it functions, right? I'm just using, I'll actually use my trackpad so that you guys can see a little better. So here's my trackpad as I'm coming up here. I'll click on communities, right? Here's the communities page. Maybe I want to click through and check out the women's page. It's looking like it is an actual website on the iPad, which is what we want. We want it to look like it is professional, like it is finished, like it is done and it is perfect. And I will hand that off to the client. And actually, I will hand that off to both the client and my web dev. And coming over here, let's turn off my iPad for a second. And here's the final functioning site.
Is there a question on your iPad thing? Is that reading it as a mobile version, or is it just a screen showing exactly what you would have seen on XD on your desktop.
Yeah, so it's basically linking through those screens. And if you want to, you can definitely hit the mobile version and the web version and just have them in separate files.
Perfect.
Yep.
All
So
right, great.
you guys can see I literally handed this off to my web dev and he built out the site. Super similar. Some changes happened as we went, but everything is working pretty much the same. Everything looks the same. All of the pages are together in the way that they were in the original XD. So super, super awesome, super helpful for developers to see how something works and not just necessarily how it looks.
Are there some advantages for the web dev person to get it this way? Are they actually using parts of it, or is it really just there as the blueprint? How's that transition look?
Yeah, so from there, they can pull some of the elements out of the XD file. So a lot of if I'm using vectors, if I'm using fonts, if I'm using styles, all of that information can be taken out of that file for the developer for them to use. And it's super helpful and easy for them to collaborate, to ask questions, but usually all the answers are there. And do you collaborate with your web dev as you design? So actually I don't, and I don't like to.
I was going to say probably not to.
Yeah. So I think that at times it can limit what we want to do. I'd rather shoot for something that is like so extravagant that we can't do it than shoot for something like short because I know that we can.
Yeah. And I think also too, maybe if you've worked with them a few times already, then there's really no need to do it in advance or as you design. You kind of worked through the kinks with that person already.
Exactly.
Good.
And yes, Mallory, they're not extracting code from XD. It is for demonstration and kind of visual purposes for them to pull into the web dev. All right, so let's go ahead and I'm going to show a project from one of Nick's students. Nick, do you want to talk a little bit about who this is and what it is?
This is great. So this is from my student, Rendell, and Rendell put together his first presentation on XD. And the cool thing about it was this really cool project where they had to rebrand something for a particular retailer. And he rebranded Office Depot and basically turned it into something called Upstart. And very cool idea because it basically is a new version of the store. And he wanted to present the entire rationale and all the graphics and even animate the logo. And he did it all in XD, which was really, really fun. So here you can see his setup, everything he's got. I'm assuming how he built this is in a way where now he takes, just like you would do a case study, right? He brings it up with a nice cover shot, the text supporting it, some of the rationale and the problems that he was doing, his preliminary kind of design work and everything. And then he gets into a fun little animation of the actual logo. And I guess you want to play it to show that? Is that
Totally. And let me address something, sorry, in chat that's happening. Yes, wouldn't that lead to issues showing a client a feature that's not able to be done? Yes. Yes, that is true. I think that I would rather show that and scale back than be super safe. And so usually I will check with my web dev first to be like, hey, here's the design. Here's the thing that I want to do. Can we do this? Yes. Okay, now I'm going to present it to the client. So the workflow is a little backwards from what I actually walked through. I'll be working collaboratively with the web dev as I'm building it to make sure that that stuff is possible. Yeah. But when I'm designing, I'm not paying attention to the web dev. I'm trying to do something that fits the purpose the best way. And then the web dev can tell me yes or no if we can do that. So that's what I meant. So yeah, let me play through this and let's look real quick at the slides. This is a great way to do presentations, and it's how we're going to do our recap at the end of this show, is showing the different slides that you have, right? You could walk through a case study, or you could make a prototype for the client to walk themselves through the case study, with some great animations done super simply here in XD. I think we can see, let's pull in here with the prototype and see what they're doing. I'm spitting so much as I talk right now, and I don't know what happened. It just is like flying all over my screen. So hilarious. Zooming in here, seeing the prototype, you can see that he is transitioning between these different scenes. He's adding an animation between those as well. And let's go ahead and hit the prototype and see what it looks like. So again, this little button up here on the right to play. And we start clicking
Randall's
through.
With us in the audience, by the way, too. What's up, Randall?
What's up?
Thanks
So
for
we start
joining.
clicking
Yeah.
through and it's synced up. Remember, it's telling us how to experience this. Each time we click, it is moving on. It's telling it, hey, move on to the next thing with a crossfade, right? So it's telling a little bit of information. It's going through. And then we get to this awesome branding work and then start getting into the logo. And here we'll see, right, we have this logo. And instead of just going from this to the next, it is saying, hey, when you click, you want it to go to the next slide, but with something special. So it's going to do a special animation, which animates the logo in, right? It's automatically going from 1 slide to 2 slide to 3 slide, using each of those elements with custom animations on them. So super, super easy. And really amazing features to do. You don't have to go into After Effects, do all that stuff. You can do it right here in XD.
Yeah. And you know what's great too is I remember when he showed this, every other student was like, wait, 1, I didn't know you could do that. 2, what a difference it makes to your presentation when you can do just this quick little motion or something unique or great transitions, and you've built it on this. And now having 5 or 6 minutes here and playing around with it, I can see how easy, I know exactly how to do that. Yep. Which is just great. And so easy to learn for sure. But I think, Rendell, you can probably agree to that. People really came to his computer to see exactly how he did it. So that's the tip, really.
Yeah, and that's something, again, this file, unlike a Photoshop or Illustrator file, you can send this link, this prototype, to literally anyone. So if you have a presentation, instead of sending like, here's my website, you can send your portfolio as a full-on prototype. That it's going to help them go through, guide them in how they want to experience it, and how you want them to experience it, which is really cool.
That's great.
And yes, Rendell, definitely doing this for my next presentation. Absolutely. And yes, using XD for presentations is so like really, really nice. And also it is kind of unconventional. So it's great. I absolutely love doing that. Let me cough into the side of my hand real quick. All right. So let's continue on, and we're actually going to be looking at homework and doing portfolio reviews for a little bit more of the show. Let me go ahead and close out this Rendell. Sorry, bye.
Julie's saying she's gonna uninstall PowerPoint. Why did you have it in the first place?
Yes.
Totally agree.
Nick, as I'm prototyping our slide deck for today, can you add in one more slide and talk a little bit about maybe building presentations and the benefits of that? Yes, so while Nick is doing that, I'm actually going to go through and make these into new screens. You know what? Let's just do this. See, and this is the joy of doing what we're doing, is Nick can keep working on those, and I'm going to pull these into screens so that they're not just shapes, and then I'll just drag them down super easily, right?
What is up? I'm seeing things happen on my screen, and I'm not even doing it.
It's pretty cool. So we can see you typing as well as see us doing our changes. So I'm just going to drag these down onto screens. And as he does that, I am in prototype mode, which means that I am going to be saying, hey, if we click on this slide, we want it to go down to this next slide and connecting all these through. And we'll go over to my iPad and do the final presentation there. Do people who receive my presentation need XD2, or how will they run the prototype? No, it just opens. Yes. It opens for them. They'll be able to see it. I believe you can send it maybe in a browser. There are ways you can embed it into case studies. You can do all kinds of stuff. Yeah. And is there a way to record that animation in XD? Yes, I believe there is. I'm not sure how to do it.
I think Rendell might have tried that. Rendell, did you record that and maybe use it as a QuickTime or a MP4 or something like that?
Yes,
I think
Rendell.
That's what they're being asked. Yeah, so Rendell.
Teach us the teachers.
Yes, tell us more.
Yes, and as always,
first time.
We'll show you at the end of this stream where we want you to go to do your homework, which next week will be literally to just do the daily creative challenges and learn a little bit about Adobe XD. Cool. So I have this all saved for our presentation. I'm going to go ahead and turn the iPad back on, and let's exit this prototype. So check this out. Let's turn the iPad back on. Boop. And you'll see that updated in my Creative Cloud documents, the office hours has been updated 1 minute ago. So we're going to hit the button right here. It's going to load this up, and now I have the presentation. So it's activating the fonts from the cloud, which is amazing. And yes, XD is amazing. And Nick, let's talk through the things that we've learned today in Adobe XD. So first of all, office hours, fall semester, hello, welcome. This is today's topic. It is Adobe XD. So continuing on, Nick, what's on our first slide?
I'm sliding back to that slide because I'm not seeing your iPad.
Oh yeah, you can't see the iPad. So yeah, you go off the file.
There we go. Perfect. So we are first in what is Adobe XD, right?
Yes.
Cool. So you can design anything. It's great for brainstorming. It's great for animation, presentations, web building, you name it. But collaboration is key. And this is something cool because you can show people a prototype before you've even done any of the real lifting. So
yep. And so you guys can see as I'm tapping through this, I'm literally just tapping on my iPad right here with my Apple Pencil, and it's going from slide to slide because I've told it we want you to have the interaction to go to the next slide, right? So this is fantastic for presentations. We can add custom animations. We can make it so that if I touch maybe the word collaboration, it's actually going to take me to a different screen. If I want to, you can link up as many ways as you want. So it's fantastic for collaboration. You don't have to wait. It's live updating for your clients, for your other collaborators, for your web developers. It saves you a ton of time in the process when you're working. It's great for client feedback. You can send it to them. They can see how everything works. And then it also expands your skill set. Why not? Jump in and learn something new.
Why not?
Continuing on, Nick, what about building websites?
Ooh, building websites. Let me find that page. There we go. I should know it. I wrote it. It's great for first-time users. I think for sure I would probably run to this first, not being a web builder, but knowing that I can design the aesthetics of it and maybe match my brand of what I've been developing for a particular client. It's familiar to all other Adobe apps. So you're going to notice icons and things like that are totally accessible. Great way to get client feedback really quick, easy to share, and 100% functional on iPad, on your phone, wherever you are showing and demonstrating this. So what a great idea.
Yep.
Yeah.
And continuing on, after websites, we can use it for presentations like we are now. We've literally shown you at the exact same time, right? In real time. We have been on air for about 30 minutes now. And in that time, we have both shown you how to build a website, and we have made a full presentation of our lesson to then represent to you, right? Super easy. You can do it in real time. I actually love doing stuff like this in client meetings. If you're sitting in a client meeting and maybe you're going through, right? And you're walking through presentation and suddenly the client's like, wow, I really like that blue color, right? If you can subtly somehow get all of your slides then into that blue color so that as it continues, boom, we read their mind. If you can do that in a meeting, that is like God tier.
Game changer.
Yes.
Game changer.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
And are you on the Adobe XD mobile app or a published link? I am on the Adobe XD mobile app for iPad.
Perfect.
So that's how we do our presentations, and that's all we have for our review. It's super engaging. You can have all kinds of custom animations, all kinds of fun. You also can have transitions that are very interesting, and it's easy to share. Like we saw, we built it all here in real time.
I think the best advice is to just dive into it and figure it out and mess around, make mistakes, follow some of the creative challenges that are out there, some of the tutorials. So just installing it today, I saw every other little spot where to hit. For all the tutorials and everything to kind of learn it from a quick start. So I'm going into it and finally going to do it. I've been saying this forever and now I'm finally doing it. So
do it, Nick. It's a super powerful tool. And so the way that you can get involved and the way that you can learn, we're going to have some inception here, which I'm actually interested how this is going to look. You can go over here to behance.net/live. There are faces. We're pointing over there, pointing at ourselves, pointing again. So this is the place that you can get involved. And you can go to behance.net/challenge/illustrator. Sorry, that's the one I was doing today. You can go to behance.net/challenge/ is it XD? Mod, if you can drop, there we go. Yep. Thank you. Challenge, did I just spell it wrong? Oh, I had it in all caps. Okay, cool. So you can come to behance.net/challenge/XD. And what I want you to do right now, this is your homework. This is your homework right now. Go to this page and click this button right here. Click this button right here, and what that's going to do is it's going to notify you every time there is a new challenge coming live. Ooh. On Monday, there will be a brand new series of challenges starting, and your homework for next week is to do those challenges, and we'll be checking in next Friday to make sure that you have been doing the Adobe XD challenges. It doesn't matter if you're new. Nick, are you going to be doing at least 1 or 2 of them?
I'm going to have to now.
Right? Right? We have to learn and we have to expand. So this is a great resource. This will be your homework for the next week. So go here, sign up for the challenges. You can watch all of the past challenges. If there's something that's interesting, right, that auto-animate. I want to learn about auto-animating. I can come down here.
Why
I can click on watch video, and automatically it's going to start playing this video with our friend Peter Del Tondo, who we're actually going to look at some of his work today. So he was doing the challenges, and you can learn as much or as little as you want about XD. Just learn something.
Anything.
That's literally anything. And so as always, once you do that, you can pop over into our challenge tab. Excuse me, you can pop over into our Discord is the word that I want there. And that's right here at bit.ly/fall semester-AL. There it is. We'll drop that link in chat for you. And there's some good conversation happening here because my dog ate my homework. Right. So there's a lot of people posting their homework from last week. And so, Nick, what I want to do, I want to hop into some of this homework because I know that some of the people are in chat and give some feedback. And then we'll come back and look at a couple XD projects in about 10 minutes of things that we love, things that we it could improve in our projects. But let's take a look at our copywriting. And let's start with our friend Julie Bradford, because I know that she's in chat, and take a look at the week one extra credit. Let's click on this and see what it is. Oh no, we can't find the page. It doesn't exist. I'm sorry, Julie. Okay. We tried. Let's go ahead and talk to or look at Girotima's. And Girotima had been doing a copywriting practice on a brand. So let's go ahead and hop over there. And here we go. So the brand is Coolio, a cool casual clothing brand. The brand voice is cool, but not aloof, right? So that's what we talked about last week is we wanted to say what it is as well as what it is not. Yep. So it is modern and sophisticated, targeted toward teens and young adults who love a mix of trendy and sophisticated. Campaign copy. Nick, do you want to talk through these two?
Yeah, with the motto, divide the trend, Coolio aims to make a statement in terms of style and set a trend in casual wear. Very nice.
Nice.
Case study intro. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, with that campaign copy, we want it to be a kind of backup of their values and their brand voice. And I think you did that great with Divide the Trend. I think that totally makes sense for that it's modern, it's sophisticated, that it is something that's unique, feels boutique very much.
Love that. That's great. Case study intro. Coolio is a casual clothing brand that aims to spark up your everyday life with a dash of coolness and style. The modern sophistication and yet smart and trendy feel of the clothing will instill you with confidence. That's really cool. I think no clothing brands really are taking it to that level of being original and trying something unique like that. So
yep. And
great DNA for a brand.
I think in your case study intro, you definitely can talk a little bit more about what you have done to accomplish that. So as you're kind of presenting yourself and showing what the project is, you want to say, here's the problem that I have solved. And so you want to incorporate that maybe as a last sentence there in the case study. And Nick and I did a special talk this week on Thursday about top 10 portfolio tips for our friends at Adobe Experience Lab. Nick, what was the number one question that we got?
About how much copy to write.
Yes. So
everywhere from resume to your portfolio to what? That was the craziest question.
Yeah, we thought it was the craziest question, and everyone asked that. And so the correct answer is we said probably 2 to 3 sentences. And so adding one more sentence to this case study intro here, Girotima, really sell what you have done for them. Yes. So let's take a look at one more piece of feedback on our homework. Let's see.
I think Julie might have updated
the link.
See. Yep.
Let me check here and see what this
Lower
is.
Peaks Resort. Would that work?
It's a little case study.
Yeah. There it is.
Do you want to walk through this real quick? Why not? There's no rules.
Let's see.
Let's do it.
We got it.
All right. And as always, over here, you can submit your reviews using hashtag Adobe Office Hours on social media, Twitter, Instagram, Behance, wherever you want. Use that hashtag and our team will find it and give you some feedback. So let's look through this right away. I mean, I'm in love with it. The type choices here are so on point.
Yes.
I think this is maybe the greatest typeface that's ever been made. I mean, I think it's one of mine. This is one of my typefaces.
It feels it's like juvenile. It's really great. Yeah, it matches really something. I love it. Yeah.
Yes. So this is like literally I designed this typeface. And I did not think at all that it would be used in this way. I've always seen it grungy and crazy. So great job at taking a new kind of vibe on it. I think that it works so well in this. It feels fun and wonky, and I would have never seen it in this kind of context. So let's read your intro. Laurel Peaks Resort is a family winter sports resort getaway. Their target demographic are families with age 13 and below. Laurel Peak brand is quirky, inviting, fun, and safe.
Nice.
That's a great intro. Super concise and right through. And yes, thank you, Rendell. Actually, Rendell, just DM me. Rendell, send me a DM since we looked at your work on the stream today, and I will send you this font. It is called Templeton. So I'll send this to you if you shoot me a DM, Rendell.
Perfect.
I really like this. I think it's a good case study. I could do maybe one more paragraph of explanation. And maybe some more application. So putting it on some more things.
Yes, making sure you are finding applicable things that you can put this on that would make sense for the brand. Definitely, yeah. I think it could use another little sentence in there. Maybe even just centering that paragraph, I think would look really nice as well. Just because you got it really centered with the character above.
Yep.
So, but I love the colors are really, really amazing too. They're all in that great tonal value. It looks really something special.
Love it. So let's hop over, Nick, and let's look at some XD. Also, sorry,
let's do it.
One more time. Everyone, make sure you're doing your homework. We'll go in, we'll pop in every now and then and do some live feedback, as well as give you feedback in that Discord if you're posting that homework. Next week, don't post your homework here. I want to see your homework over here on the Adobe XD channel. So bit.ly/XD challenge. Yes. If someone has the mod, if you have the link for the Adobe XD
challenge XD.
Thank you. Yes, if you have the link for the XD Discord as well, I want you guys to go join that Discord, and then there is a challenge tab that I want you to be posting your projects in. Make sure you're tuning in every day, make sure you're doing the homework, and make sure you're showing off the work that you're doing. So go check that out and make sure that it is there. But for now, let's hop over and talk about some UI UX feedback. So we're going to be looking first at our friend Musa Adanur. Let's say Adanur.
I think you got it.
From Istanbul, Turkey. I want to go back so bad. I love Istanbul. And as always, Nick, do you want to give our disclaimer about giving feedback?
Yes. So we love to give the feedback on what we're looking at, but again, it could work for anybody. So take anything we're kind of saying and find those areas that maybe could be applicable to what you're doing on your portfolio. This is for everybody to gain some insight on.
Yes. So let's hop in and let's look at the Passmem, the password app, and take a look. We're going to be talking both about maybe the design and the experience design a little bit, but more so how you're presenting it within your portfolio. We talk a lot about case studies, so we're going to be looking at the overall case study as well as the design work within there.
Yes. Perfect. All right. So we're looking through here. Let's see. I'm getting an overall vibe. I feel like it's a little dark and mysterious. It's something at the very beginning. What do you think? Like, I don't know if the full black is the way to present right from the very beginning.
I don't mind it. I think it feels a little dark. Okay, so it reminds me of like an Uber case study. Like it feels super sleek and modern.
But they balance it with it'll go from maybe a strip of black to the next one will be a strip of a light color and revert. Like, give me a little break. It takes a while before you see some. Like I do know he has the about project here, but like it continues to be that a lot of dark.
Yeah, we want every chunk of your case study should be surprising. And so I think going back and forth would be very helpful. And I love the about project. This is actually a really great intro. You don't have to remember your passwords, right? Immediately off the bat, you're telling us, here's the problem that I fixed. You know those passwords? You hate it. You always forget your passwords. You'll never have to remember one again. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what did he do? Right? And here's what I did. Passum remembers all of them for you. Save your passwords and log into sites with a single click. It's that simple. That is great copy to lead me in and just tell me exactly what this project is.
I love it. I like the little design process with the golfer. And the little golf ball in the eye. That's pretty cool.
Yes.
Little fun. I like this. I think this is great to show, because if someone's a new client or looking at your work to see, if I see that there's how we can section off the work you're going to do, this is very helpful to see. And now when you get it in your proposal, you've already kind of seen this and you're maybe a little familiar with it. So I do like that timeline. That's pretty cool.
I agree. What else we got. So this is where it gets too dark for me, that it continues to be dark. So if this problem solution was white, this is what we tell everyone to put in there. So this is, again, this is really good. A problem now. And yes. Oh, Justin. Yes. So this was, I don't know. Do we talk about it last week or at the special event where we talked about leaving early and arriving late?
Oh,
we were, maybe it was last week, maybe it was at our event. Anyway, we made the point that when you're going through a case study, you want to make the person feel like they have arrived late or that they are leaving early. And so I love this, because this feels like you don't have to remember your passwords anymore. I'm walking in and I'm already like late to the conversation. I'm like, wait,
whoa,
what's happening? Like, yeah, no, I agree with that. But like, what's happening, right? Password remembers all of them for you. Save your passwords and log into sites with a single click. It's that simple. Okay, what's next? Like, I feel like we're leaving this conversation too early. That's what you want. You want to arrive late and leave early. So last week, thank you, GRT. We don't know. We just talk now. And this is the thing, the problem solution that we tell everyone to put in every case study. And you did a great job. The problem nowadays, the users have so many applications that it's hard to keep in mind and administer their passwords. What's my solution to that? Collect passwords on a single platform and make them easily accessible and usable, right? So he's not trying to sell, here's what I did, here's the solution that I had, here is like this awesome product that I made. Super simple. Here's the problem. Here's maybe some way to fix it, right? Perfect. Doesn't have to be super verbose and crazy, just simple.
Yeah. So I think you get down to the, let's see, we got a little inspiration and mood board. Nice. Kind of like that, and seeing that. I would maybe take one or two of them, make them super big, like just again, a different degree of size and scalability on these. So we take two or three that are really, really the inspiration, make them super big, make for an interesting board. I would also say too, like, I wonder if the typeface there could be something a little bit more friendly to me, something a little bit more in looking at some of the stuff that I see. What do you think?
I think you're wrong.
Because I see Parmesan cheese. Maybe it's the Italian in me, but like,
for me, I think Roboto is perfect because it feels cold and structured and secure. To me, I like trust it because I'm like, ooh, it feels established. It gives me emotion. Like the person that feels like Roboto feels like they would be able to keep my password secure.
Okay. Yeah. I would almost even challenge you that maybe an all caps version of this could be even more secure. I just having that talk with students the other day that the upper and lower case brings off a bit of friendliness, which could be a good in between as far as a strong font and upper and lower case. So you're confident and strong, but you're also friendly and inviting.
Yes. Hello, Sion Roy. Welcome to chat. Bienvenido.
Yeah. I feel maybe there's a little bit of tightening between the P and the A. There's a little bit of extra.
Oh, let me get these eagle eyes in there. Yes. Okay. Need to turn that up a little bit. So continuing on, I love that you have sketches. We always talk about show your process. Great job doing the process. And then this is the UI design. This is the stuff that, and this is going to sound so mean, this is the stuff that I don't care about.
Really?
So I think that this is interesting. And I'm like, wow, it shows that you have a process that is very well defined, that is very consistent, that is an awesome system. But for me, I'm more interested in how you use it. What's the experience that I'm going to get through this? Nick, what's your opinion on putting this kind of stuff in a case study?
It's funny because that's where I kind of differ in a way, because are you saying that maybe this stuff is a given that it's going to be in there, or what's the hurt in showing this? Because when I look at it, it tells me his style of this idea of like from inactive to focused to writing. You know, is that a given in UI UX?
So
at this point,
I think that maybe better communicated. I don't care about this, and I want to know why I should. And so putting in some copy here maybe, or showing some application uses or something that lets me know, hey, this is really important, and I've put a ton of time into this because I know that this is like insanely time conducive, like time taking. So a little paragraph here telling me a little bit about what's going on. Because I look at this and I'm like, cool, it's like a bunch of things that like go together. I understand it's a system, all that, the 24-point grids, got it. I want like 2 sentences that say like, I've developed a holistic approach to a brand system that keeps everything consistent and helps the user know where to go, right? So
unifying system of data entry or whatever you want to say that says it's consistent to the brand. It makes them feel like they haven't left all that kind of stuff. It could use a little thing there.
Yep. Also, I'm gonna hot take real quick. Freaking phones at 45-degree angles. I never want to see these again in a case study. I have seen thousands of phones at a 45-degree angle with a screen on it. If you're gonna do it, just put a phone. Put a phone and let me know this is what they're using. Put it in someone's hand. This like phones floating in the abyss or at this angle. I've never seen phones like this in the real world. I can't relate myself to using this app. I'm like, what am I going to do with this with the phones like that? Put it in someone's hand. Show it laying on a table. Put it on a counter. And just put it so that you can really showcase your work, because it's distracting in the overall design. My eye is wanting to fly all over the place. Just lock in one place and show me what you want to see.
I do like when I've seen it like this, but maybe a contrasting background could be just enough. But it looks to me like this was maybe just used as a graphic element between showing how everything from UI design now comes together on screen. My biggest gripe with this would be like, because the background is black and we have this very dark gray, I'm not getting any definition. I'd be fine with it otherwise, but I know what you're saying. I do see it a lot. But to me, it's still pleasing, you know?
So we are going to hop over. We only have 5 minutes left because, again, we talk too much on this show. We really do.
Gosh.
I'm going to hop over to our friend Peter Del Tondo. Peter does all of the Adobe Xd. Well, not all of them. He does a lot of the Adobe Xd Daily Creative Challenges. He's not doing the next week, but he'll be back eventually. He's actually back the week of the end of this month. I'll be back with the Illustrator Challenges. We'll be doing them together. So if you want to learn Illustrator and XD, it's actually a crossover challenge. I'll be making the assets. Peter will be putting them into XD. So join us for those weeks. But this is how I think we should all be doing case studies. I think that Peter and his friends at Unfold do some of the best case studies in the game.
Oh, yeah.
They're just absolutely knockout. So, right, we start out, great copy, challenge accepted, right? I've entered so late into this conversation that I'm like, wait, you've already solved the problem? What was the problem, right?
Yes.
Here, let me tell you. Power Junction is a titan in the point of sale industry. They wanted to redesign their desktop and mobile websites. They connected with us to do just that. Boom. Right? I come in late. Wait, what's going on? And then you tell me, all right, cool. And then I leave early. Okay, what else are you going to show me? Right? Just 2 sentences. So good. And from there, again, walking us through piece by piece.
Look at the contrast between where he's got white, color blocks, formatted text, hierarchy in text, right?
Yep.
You know, it's like the answers are all there.
And there is structure to this, right? We talk about having sections and having structure. This case study is holding my hand through it so well, right? We talk always about like, take your client's hand, hold their hand through. This is just literally step by step telling me where to go. And having just enough description. Again, this is 3 sentences right here. It's 4 sentences, just enough to tell me what's going on. Oh, what am I looking at next? Product photography. Here's what we did with our product photography. And then continuing on, there are elements in here that don't relate, right? That here's some random icons. Great. Now let's talk about the photo retouching, right? We just move on. Stuff that doesn't need an explanation, don't give an explanation. You don't have to force it every time.
Perfect. Yeah.
This is so gorgeous.
It's just so great. I love that there's air, there's room to breathe, yet there's such crisp, clear kind of graphic explanation of everything. Okay, so here it is. Just the right amount of type. You want to know how much copy to write? Here is your model. It's totally it. Like, I would, as long as this scroll is, I would still take the time to read through here, because I can look at first glance and see this is an easy read.
Yep. And we always talk about incorporating your process into the final case study. This illustration is like the best way to do that, right? That it's not showing us like, here's a bunch of sketches. It's like, oh, it feels like an element that's incorporated into the journey I'm on in this case study, right? The web facing side, it's got nice little wireframes. I'm going to for sure knock them for the 45-degree angle. I don't need that. But here's the difference. This is not giving me information. This is throwaway content. It's just showing me this is aesthetic. This is kind of a more textural element. So I'm more okay with it, but I still don't like it.
Can I call out one of my favorite parts of it?
Love it.
is the way it ends with the last slide going, and that's how it's done.
Yes.
And that's how we do it. And the guys just, I mean, if that doesn't like evoke confidence and this is going to win and this is something you need, you know, I don't know what would. So this is really something clean.
And I love the detail of the padding on point once we get there, right? The things that we've talked about this before, if you can flex on scale, if you do a whole bunch of things really well, like show that off. So here, like who cares about the padding, right? You're like, okay, so it's like spaced well, and you're like padding on point. We went with 8 pixels points on this project. This allowed for versatility in adding or removing space as needed. And then it shows literally the system. Here is every last tiny little thing that we need to make this absolutely perfect. And so it's just flexing on, we're really good and we actually can prove it. So this is the example of a great case study. And yes, confidence at the end, it's not cocky, it's confidence. Be confident in your work. So
copywriting as well. I was just looking at the headlines. Very well done.
Absolutely.
Saving this.
Yeah, right. If you all would like to join us again, you can join our Discord over here at
thanks, Cody.
Fall Semester -AL. Check that out. Do your homework, and it will be to do the XD challenges starting on Monday. We'd love for you to check into the homework tab. Just let us know, hey, I'm taking the XD challenge on Monday. We'll be in there to remind you to do that. And then from then, join the XD Discord and post your case studies and your work in there as you go to get feedback from our incredible mentors over there. And as always, you can find all the information you want right down here, bit.ly/Adobe Office Hours. That is where our presentations will be, everything from the past weeks if you'd like to catch up, and where you can see the syllabus of what's coming up. And Nick, what's coming up next week on our show? I love doing this. This is my favorite thing
I have been trying to remember it for the last 30 seconds while you were talking because I knew you'd throw.
He's like, man,
we even did a promo for it.
Yep. Well, we only got 1 minute, so we don't have time to wait. We are next week doing ice cold.
Wow.
Next week, we are doing a design sprint. So we will be hanging out, and Nick and I will be taking your suggestions from chat and designing something live so you can see our process. We'll be narrating what we're thinking, and you, chat, will get to make that creative brief. So it's going to be a fun one. And make sure, if you like that concept, to tune in Monday and Tuesday at 2:30. I'll be hosting my show Design in the Dark with Jen Piatowski, and it's basically a Mad Lib to where you, chat, get to fill in all the blanks and we make her design something live. We'll be making a brand live with your suggestions, and she has to do it within an hour. So it's a big challenge. Join us Monday 2:30 to 3:30, Tuesday same time, and then again Friday at 2:30 for Nick and I for another episode of Adobe Office Hours.
Yeah.
Thanks so much. This was super fun, and we will see you next week. Make sure you mark your calendars, and I don't think anyone is up after us, so have a great weekend. Stay healthy, wear your masks, and get some sleep.
Yeah. Bye, guys.
All right. Bye, everyone.